Hello, my name is Abe. Welcome back to Monster Train: The Last Divinity. Another run. Random. 4 in a row, which is pretty decent. Sure. Random. I would like Umbra Secondary. No, it's actually, oh god, it's the Queen! At least we do have some starting imps. Buff, debuff, Seraph, so we can't really build Rage. Melting Remnant out. You know, this is interesting. Because we can play imps, and then reform the imps, and then play more imps. And we have Burnout and a Branding Right Armor Piercing card. This is a very unusual build, but I kinda like it. Deal 5 damage to enemy units when a Burnout unit dies. This is actually insanely good value for crowd control, but also this is insanely good value for your champion. No, it's not. Because the rally champion, this mark of a champion will not buff the rally gain. You know, if she gets plus 10 attack per imp, what is this gonna do? It's not gonna give you plus 15 attack per imp. It's gonna give you plus 10 attack per imp. This is only the base damage for your champion. Now, there is a version of the champion that does like 100 damage, but we've seen in the past that we need to do more damage than that on these runs. Having a 100 damage champion is not enough. I like the dealing burnout damage to enemy units, Exploding Candle, because this would allow us to reform our units back over and over again and then wipe floors. It's actually pretty absurdly great. And then we don't have to worry about specifically what champion we get. Because I think we need something that's not just a champion. We need something better than our champion for dealing with floors. A champion attack, that is. So Exploding Candle is good crowd control. And we'll see what our champion is. So again, rally champion, or kill all imps and deal 20 damage per imp to enemy units. So if we take the Imperialist, this will buff the damage of the imps dying, but here's what I think. I don't think we need Imperialist. Yes, this does deal a lot of damage per imp to enemy units once per combat, or once per turn of combat, but we already have sweep damage with imps. It's called Exploding Candle. So do we want Imperialist? I don't know. There is a idea behind the Imperialist, which is you play your imps, they die, and then you reform them with health to live longer, to get in the front as tanks, to get swept, and then we can build other floors. So I think maybe the Imperialist is the way to go. But this is still a very good rally queen, because you can just burn out your units over and over again. You would need a tank to go in front of her, but it's possible. Royalty is the way to go. I'm gonna go Royalty. If the imps die and they burn out and explode, we'll just take that. But let's buff the queen so that she can do a lot of damage. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Now, enemy units get more attack. I think I will turn this on. We have a couple of imps we can just toss out there to you know, take the damage shield from these guys and whatnot. It's not really that big of a concern. And actually, I can kill you immediately on turn 1, which is beautiful. Well, yeah, I can. Queen, imp. You will kill an imp, gain damage shield, the imp will hit you, remove your damage shield, and I'll do 30 damage to you. All right. Let's just make sure we do this in the correct order. Okay. And then Train Steward, let's put you in the middle. Branding Right. Giving you some armor does seem pretty nice, but I think what we want to do is start with the Primitive Mold. It hit the wrong imp, but it's still fine. Now they're all dying. They're all dying because the burnout unit. So you're going to hit the imp, get a kill, but the burnout is going to immediately purge your damage shield. Dude, let's go. And then you might as well just kind of get out. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And then, let's just go ahead and put another imp down just to tank. I don't love these imp tankers, but, you know, anything's better than nothing. I mean, this is what I love. Because now we kill the unit in the back, and now you're absolutely not dying, or not killing me. Which is good, because our queen only has 10 health. If we can get that armor-piercing card to have holdover, that might be nice. I don't like that it does damage, though, and we don't have heals. Apply armor 10 to friendly units. Apply armor 20 to the front friendly unit. Welder Helper could be interesting on the queen floor. Hornbreak is a good card to just kind of like kill enemy units that have, you know, a lot of armor. I think actually a Hornbreak might be what I want here. Just a targeted spell, because I don't have a targeted spell. I got a lot of other garbage. Purifying Cleanse has been buffed. It used to be 10-2, now it's 15-3. I think a Molten Encasement could be good. It's a good target to bring back with Reform. We don't have a targeted Reform, but we could. You know, applying Stealth to our champion means that they won't take damage. They don't have a lot of health, so that could matter. Doing damage to the front with Extinguish is also pretty good, but I think maybe a Molten Encasement might be good. Just a nice small unit to just kind of go out there and take some hits. Now here, oof. Dude, I actually like Lady of the House, because if we get a draft, a plus 15, plus 30 burnout 3 draft would be amazing. The Demon Fiend would also be a good meld target, but the Demon Fiend would not buff the burnout. I think you take Lady. She's a good tank, but she also has very good melding opportunities with drafts. And I don't know if a draft is good enough for this run, but are we really gonna take an Alpha Fiend? I don't know. I think we'll start with the Lady. It's just a good tank. Now, spells or units. Because there's a remnant unit to get picked, I think we will go unit pick. Spells, our spells right now are fine. The only thing I would want is like plus damage or maybe holdover or something like that, but we'll just go for the units. Endless. That's what we want. We want endless on like a Molten Encasement. Buff debuff Seraph will be annoying, but getting stealth 2 every turn on your champion means that they will never die, and all the imps will just do a whole bunch of damage every single turn. So that feels like the way to go. We'll start, though, by looking at the artifact. Friendly units get more health, enter with rage, or deal damage to an enemy when it enters your train. The imps maybe living for a turn is okay, but this will get outscaled very quickly. Like, consider this versus that artifact that gives all units, or all frontline units plus 5 every turn. You know, that's so much better. Friendly units getting plus 5 once, yeah, sure, the imp might live for one attack, but when the enemies start doing, 16 damage per hit, does 5 really matter? The answer to that question is no. So I probably prefer the infused mallet, even though it's unlikely to kill in the late runs, because the enemies are gonna have like 20 health. This is a tough one, because I really don't like these options. The other not bad, but the other thing about Hammered Chestplate is that we might not lose an imp. An imp might live when I want it to die, so I can keep summoning more imps. So I think maybe the infused mallet is the way to go. It's gonna help us early, which I like. Not a very good choice though. Slay gain gold, plus 10 attack and slay gain gold. Burnout 2 and strike apply rage through the friendly burnout units. These are not great, but the Paraffin Thug can at least like buff our money. I do like endless molting encasement. It's actually a good opportunity to also put an imp in the encasement, because then we can get the damage and the stealth every turn. In fact, let me do a quick look here. Yeah, we'd much rather put the imp in the encasement because it ends up doing more damage. So we're gonna make you endless as a tomb unit. Burnout 1 I don't really care to put that on the lady right about now. I actually don't really care for any of this. We're just gonna go. No, not a great selection of upgrades, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. We really want to do some melding though, and get that endless unit kicking around the deck as quickly as possible. So Paraffin Thug's gonna be here. We got the molten encasement immediately, which is actually beautiful. Now we are taking 3 damage, but at least we're getting a kill. You will get some kills next turn. You're gonna tank. Ooh. And then we do have a horn break, so if we wanted to, we could get a kill with one of these units, but I actually like the fact that the Paraffin Thug is getting a kill. So you're taking 2 damage. You need to go out. You get summoned every turn, which buffs the rally gain. We do want the gold, so let's just go ahead and use a horn break for that. You're making it up 1 floor. Who cares? Instead, we'll get another burnout imp that's just gonna die immediately, which is perfectly okay with me. No incants, no anything else. Burn out the lady, I guess. If we can kill the boss on the bottom floor in this, they have spikes. We're not gonna be able to kill him. We should kill you then. Damn it, that kills my queen. Not my queen! But we're only living to attack the boss once, which is very unfortunate. There's almost no point in even playing the Queen's Imp. Well, no, this will allow us to do a lot more hits. And now we're doing 120. Okay. There you go. Now you are making it to the pyre. Even playing this won't do it, so you're gonna do 1 damage. I guess the Train Steward is the best one here. I think we'll be able to kill the boss. Disposable account, welcome. Demands googly eyes. You guys love your googly eyes a little bit too much. 35, 20. That's 55 damage a hit. It's 35, 20. 55 damage. Then add another 35 to that. That's 85. So the Paraffin Thug is getting the kill. I think. No. You're getting the kill exactly. You're doing exactly enough damage, Lady of the House. Paraffin Thug is not getting a kill. He's not getting a kill! Also, hi Quark, how's it going? Thank you for the cheer. He's not getting a kill, end turn. There's nothing we can do, we don't have any spells. Still. Okay. Welder Helper, Molting Imp, Fortify. You know, a Welder Helper on the Endless unit could be okay, but I really just prefer the Endless unit to die every turn. With deal 15 damage to enemy units. That seems better than armor. If we give him armor, the enemy units might live every turn, so I much prefer the Molting Imp for that. And if we can get 2 of those stealth units, that might actually be what we want in the long run. We do have a second Molting Imp, but we'd probably just duplicate the Molting Encasement after we put the Imp in him, and even ideally get Endless, sorry, not Endless, Burnout 1 on the Molting Encasement via an upgrade. What do we want right now, though? I mean, none of these are amazing, but the Welder Helper is at least like a temporary tank. I worry about adding too many units, and I also worry about the Welder Helper just not being very good. Like, at least Fortify, like we can hold over, double stack it, and get 10 every turn. That's something, but really these cards are kind of trash. I'll go with another Imp. Draft is exactly what I'm looking for like another additional unit. Multi-strike 1 and Burnout. You never know. We got another one of these, huh? Strike +5, +1 capacity. Alpha Fiend on the draft? No, we're gonna put Lady of the House on the draft. Because then you will do... Oh, you're going to have so much damage, especially with upgrades. Yeah, Lady of the House onto the draft. That's going to be the meld. Yeah, absolutely. Abso-frickin-lutely. So out of these units, what do we want? Because we got to think about the long-term plays here. I do like Paraffin Thug, but are we going to use the Paraffin Thug long-term? I think the answer is no. I think long-term, we're going to put Molting Imp on the Molten Encasement to keep playing with the champion. We're going to put Lady of the House on the draft. With Hallowed Drippings, we can keep the draft alive for a long time. They'll do a lot of damage. We can double Molten Encasement and the draft, which gives us 80 Pact Shards. So we would just need to find 5 Pact Shards between now and the end of the game if we do meld, duplicate, duplicate. What's coming up next? We can probably check the map. Upgrade your champion. Oh no, this is where we are. Divine Boons. No, we don't care. So Divine Temple, Divine Temple. We'll have to duplicate here. Remove 2 cards, duplicate a card, gain a remnant unit, Divine Temple. I like this. I do like the Merchant of Steel for upgrades, but we do need to get this sort of duplication happening. But out of this, I actually don't really like these units. I just want to duplicate the units that we have. Maybe the Alpha Fiend, but I don't, like, are we really going to try to put Multi-Strike on the Alpha Fiend and get them pogging off? No, I'd rather just Multi-Strike the draft and get Super Draft. So I think we're going to probably say nothing here. Well, no, we should probably take something, even like a Paraffin Thug. I don't love it, but, you know, I still think we'll take it. So I think I like an artifact, because artifacts are powerful. Our spells are, like, not really doing much for us. I think we can wait on spells. I'd much rather see what we can get here. And this is amazing. Random imps or summon imps gain energy and draw. Both are great. I would prefer them both. I would love them both. Pact Shards, take both artifacts. But which would we prefer if we can only pick one? We're gonna put the imp in the encasement, so we can't get the value out of the imp every turn, although that would have been sweet. Still, getting energy and draw every turn, it's not every turn, it's almost every turn, is pretty good. Imsicle will cost us 1 energy to play it. This is an energy and card refund. I think we'll take Queen's Tail. I think it helps you to get through your deck faster and get more things out. I think we're gonna have too many imps eventually. And we can always reform imps. So you know what, yeah, Queen's Tail is definitely the play there. I had to think about it. Apex Imp. Armored, gain rage equal to gain armor, summon gain armor 5. Triggers when armor is added. When you gain armor, you gain rage. Gain rage equal to gained armor. So you start with armor 5, rage 5. It says Demon Imp. That counts for imps, right? I mean, it seems interesting. I don't really gain armor on units, but maybe I can find a way of gaining armor on you and then make like a rage unit. You're not gonna do that much against Seraph, and you're really not that good for me. I hate to say it because, like, this is the new card for the Hellhorn in the DLC, but I honestly don't see this being what I want. I really don't. I look at this and I'm like, I could play it. It's an imp, but it's not like a top play for me. Because I don't see myself gaining rage or armor all that much on this guy. Because I don't even have a Welder Helper imp. I didn't take one. I'm taking damage imps and stealth to keep the champion alive, and the draft is going to make up the second floor. I could branding right, but we'd have to really buff your health to give you all that extra armor, and I mean, rage 20, armor 20 is nice, but you're not going to help against Seraph, and against the Divinity, I don't know if you're good enough, but like, we could still take you. I mean, the Rail Beater is more of a tank. You're more of a damage dealer, but there's no place for you. You know. I hate to say it, but I think we skip. And it's a new unit, it's a rare unit, but this build is not working around armor. It's working around stealth. And then, I don't know, like burnout reform with the drafts eventually. And hallowed drippings to keep them alive. That's kind of what I'm building around. I'm building around having molten encasement and stealth, keep things alive, not armor. So I think we skip this. Sorry, Apex Imp, maybe next run. So, Concealed Caverns. Quick, silence, trample. If the queen ends up doing a lot of damage, having trample on the queen would eventually be absurdly amazing. So I think trample queen is the way to go. That being said, I do understand the value of like a quick queen who can get a shot in, or like a quick draft or trample draft. Silence, just being able to take out annoying enemies that have annoying triggered abilities. But I think we'll go trample. If we're building one heavy damage dealing unit, then trample is sweep. Not quite as good. Pushback sucks. Not quite as good, but it kind of is a form of sweep. All right, so this is where it begins. 2 Molting Imps kills you, so I think we will start on the bottom. Molting Imp, you will hit and kill, you will hit and kill. You're gonna be okay. Good, and then the lady is gonna go out here. And there's room for a draft and another imp. I would like the Paraffin Thug to go there though, just to get some kills. Although you're gonna hit me and you're gonna get the kill. Let's see, 25 damage, primitive mold, reform a unit. Let's start here. It's not quite enough to kill, but it is enough to keep the queen protected. It is enough to get a kill, because you will die and get a kill. You know what? I think I'd like you to just get some gold. Do I have 2 Paraffin Thugs in my deck? I very well might. I'm gonna do that just to get you out. Yeah, we do have a second Thug. So you're getting 1 kill. Should probably give you some armor just to keep you going. I don't have a heal card, but that's okay. As for Paraffin Thug, we're gonna get an armor refund next turn, so I'm gonna start you up here. Just to get you out of the way. Hey, I did 5 damage to one of these units, that one. Trample is not bad, but you're not really gonna be that well protected here. I think we'll just start with draw. I think I'd rather do this, just to see what we get. We got a burnout imp. So that keeps our units alive. Can't play the trample tome though. Really wanted to, but that's okay. I mean, in theory, we'll get a kill with the Paraffin Thug in a couple of turns. In fact, we're getting kills with Paraffin Thug like left, right, and center right now, which is beautiful. Although I hate that we just can't kill this guy in the front. Just barely can't get him killed. Whatever, burn out forever. Okay, Paraffin Thug. Paraffin Thug's dying, we gotta put someone in front. Molten Encasement will do it. But the mold might do it too. That'll do it. No, you'll get the kill if I play you there. This'll do it though. Yeah, because you're gonna stealth him. All right, so now we're gonna get the kill, gain 20 gold. Let's mold again. It's kind of hoping for another Paraffin Thug, but this is still okay. Because I want to get the Paraffin Thug kill with this guy next turn. We're actually accumulating kind of a lot of cash, and I gotta admit, I like cash. So don't play anything else, because every other, floor here is perfect. This is because I'm fiddling trying to get the kills with the Paraffin Thug, but it's like totally working. So Molten Encasement goes out, and you're dead. Beautiful. Didn't even get to play the frickin' draft. Yeah, I think we got like 100 gold there, which is pretty decent. Fragile multi-strike. Oh, do we? Is that what we do? Hallowed Halls, also interesting. Well, these are all interesting. Because One Horn's Tome, if we play that on the Queen, we can give her multi-strike and lots of stealth and trample. And she would get a lot of kills. She is going to be like a high damage dealing unit. But Hallowed Halls is fun because if you play it on a floor, you just bring back all of the imps that you played previously and they just come back and they are on the floor. But if all we're playing is imps and they just do damage, then I don't see this being particularly useful. I see the multi-strike getting this done for us eventually. Because we can apply armor to the unit to keep them alive and really just apply stealth to keep them alive. So I think One Horn's Tome is the way to go. Ooh, this is also very interesting. Harvest +2/+2. Wickless Baron could be good to just put down imps and then buff him, but again, I don't think we need a tank, because I think what we're gonna do is stealth tanks. We're gonna take energy, I think, here. Could also take card draw. I don't think we need capacity. But like, if we stealth tanks, or stealth as tanks, we don't need tanks. We just need a second Molten Encasement that's endless after we put the Molten Imp in it. And then we'll dupe a draft later once we put a Lady of the House in it. And then we'll just have two Paraffin Thugs that are just kind of out there gaining gold if anything makes it through, you know? So I don't think we need the Wickless Baron. I mean, it would be fun to put the Baron in the draft, but I think it's better to put the Lady in it so that you get the burnout bonuses. I hope. It's tricky though. Could even make this double stack and cost less so that you can keep the drafts alive a little bit longer. Yeah, so I think we might take nothing. We don't really have amazing units right now, but we are about to make a super unit. I think we're probably gonna make a super... I think we're probably gonna make a super draft right now. That's probably the best thing to do so we have damage and then we can dupe him. Yeah. Yeah. I love the Wickless Baron. He's a great tank, but this is not the run for him, I think. He could tank for the Queen. +3 and +3. Every turn he would gain +3 health. No, because we're gonna do stealth on him. Yeah, we're just gonna skip. I'm thinking about it for too long, which I think is an indication that we should probably just skip. Seems like that's the right call. Now, what do we want here? I think we'll go energy first, because we don't have a lot of things that cost 0. Yeah, this is what we want. So we'll go energy first. Remnant unit. No, we don't want these. Skip, because we're gonna meld and then add ladies to the drafts. That's what's gonna happen. So let's do that now. So Lady of the House gets eaten. The draft is now gonna have Burnout 4, 25 × 2, 35 multi-strike, and no upgrades. So we really do need to upgrade these drafts. We're gonna start by duping the draft, although we could dupe him later. Well, then why come here, you know? Yeah, we can spend to upgrade them with upgrades later. Let's get them duped. Because they're a very good unit. You need rally. Also, it does buff your health a little bit, not that much, but it's okay. And then we'll probably go unit upgrades next. We're gonna have maybe 500 gold, which is pretty good. Multi-strike doesn't bother me, because again, if we're dealing with stealth, Who cares about multi-strike? We need to get the tomb unit, but I can always start on floor 2. I don't have to start at the bottom floor. Which I think is what we're gonna do, actually. Wow, you have 150 health? You son of a gun. Yeah, we'll start there. We'll get those guys out. Hope that they live. Hey, we're getting a lot of money here. Then, imps. I do like that. I also do like that. And then Hornbreak to get the kill there. Or we could even imp, kill imp, imp. Imp, kill imp, perform, play imp in order to get even another incant trigger off of this. So, molting imp. Then kill an imp. Then bring back an imp. Then play an imp. Gives us even more rally triggers. Now you're gonna make it up. You might hit the pyre. In fact, you're probably gonna hit the pyre if I don't get a draft. I did get a draft. You ain't going nowhere, son. So this is fine. You're taking 55. We're gonna hit you for more. I hate that they have 60 health. I think they had 10 pre-upgraded, and then, you know, we could kill them with the piercing card. We have energy for everything, so we'll bring back an imp. Do 50 damage. I actually love this because it gets us a kill and more gold. Then imp. Branding Right is probably just worth playing. Now you're dead. Beautiful. And our champion is doing 85 damage. We haven't gotten our tomb unit out. We'll get them eventually, I hope. Okay, we got another imp. So you go out. There's one Horn's Tome. It's unplayable for the time being, but that's okay. Let's give you some more burnout. Is that a kill finally? That's a kill on the frontline unit. You're gonna make it up, but you might make it past that floor. I really hope you don't, though. You're taking 70 damage. It's not enough to kill you. And I can't really do anything else to kill you, which is unfortunate. You're all dying, which is beautiful. So you're gonna hit the pyre for 24, which I really do not love. But there is nothing I can do about that. 50 damage. Ah, you're the problem, because you're healing for 20. I was like, I thought we were getting closer to killing you than that, and that is truth. Let's just Umberstone you. You're gonna make it through. You're gonna do 24 damage to the pyre. Not much that we can do about that, unfortunately. Endless. Well, we know that we are gonna want this out with the horn break. Let's start here. Burnout Imp. Because that gets us more stealth. He drew it again. I mean, that's exactly what I wanted, I suppose. You're taking 193, which is okay. And now you're dead. All right, beautiful. And you know what, Branding Right, I guess if we up the damage or the health of the Shardtail Queen, this is something that we can play over and over again. And now I do have a Burnout 4 Imp that I can just use as a tank. All right, capacity is definitely a problem. It might be what I want to upgrade next. I don't know. It's the Armor Hammer. Well, it is good. Another Branding Right is now like decent. Imp in a box is kind of okay. Trample Draft. Trample Draft wouldn't have stopped the damage on the top floor because Trample doesn't increase the damage that we do. Adding more imps could be okay, but we've kind of hit a bit of a capacity limit in a sense. Armor could be decent to keep units alive a little bit longer or to kill enemy units. It's really, what do you think is better? 2 random imps or armor? I don't really want to thicken up the deck too much, but I do like getting additional armor. I'm gonna go branding right, because there's an interesting combo with withdrawing the stealth unit multiple times in a turn. Kill a unit, reform a unit, and apply 10. I like targeted reform. If we meet Malika, do you take the Blight Relics? I did read up on that event, and apparently the bad relics stay with you for two combats, which is a little silly. Remove all debuffs and buffs from enemy units. I kind of like resin removal because it can remove all the annoying spell shields that the enemies have. Spell shield and stealth and whatnot. I don't really have spells that do damage now that I think about it, so maybe we don't care about removing spell shield. But like, I could see this being nice on Last Divinity because of all of the annoying spell shield that you get. I do like a targeted reform to maybe bring back drafts. We can put them on a floor that just die over and over again and then, you know, let them do their thing. But we also still have random primitive molds, so we don't really need a targeted mold. It's also expensive, but we do get the energy back frequently. I also like the idea of Crushing Demise just to kill those big tanky units on Divinity. Maybe we'll take this and we'll use it to kill those annoying units that always seem to get by me. Because they always seem to get by me, don't they? We need unit upgrades though. Our drafts need to get better. Everything needs to get better. And I think Large Stone is definitely, you know, a good call here. +5, +10. I mean, you turn into a great unit, but I might just want to give you 100 health and make you a tank draft. Sounds good to me, honestly. Although more health on the Paraffin Thug could also be good, but I love the idea of making just big draft. Quick. Quick doesn't really work on anything here. We'll buff the damage of this draft. Give a Paraffin Thug more HP. Yeah, we don't have a sweeper or anything, so we can't really do anything there. We will... Yo, Spell Chain. Nah. Spell Chain Hella Drippings could be okay, but we're going to put an Imp in the Molten Encasement. 40 damage to the front enemy unit, or 15 damage to all enemy units. Yeah, we're gonna do this, and now we have a good Molten Encasement. And we're gonna dupe this Molten Encasement later. We're kind of running up against some limits here though. We are at 80 pack shards, which is very dangerous, but maybe if we thin out the deck a little bit, it won't be quite as bad. I'm definitely worried though. We get a lot of gold. Give me a Queen's Imp removal. All right, 27 card deck, 80 pack shards. Threat level extreme. Enemy units enter with armor 15. We can do it. It's gonna be tough, but we can do it. We're gonna need to put out imps to kill him along with the Endless Molten Encasement. I can't believe we actually got the Endless Molten Encasement on turn 1 though, that's beautiful. Which to me indicates that we start at the bottom floor. I really wish we were able to kill the overcharged tank, but when we get the drafts out, hopefully, we'll be able to do some more damage. For now though, you gotta go out. You gotta go out. Getting 1 kill. If I play this, we could get 2 kills. If I play this, we could get 2 kills, but I don't want to put the Paraffin Thug on the same floor as everything else. Maybe I would though, just to get kills and money. I mean, I could put you up here and then you could get some kills with the branding right. But then how the heck are we gonna kill this overcharged tank? Answer, we won't. So if I do this, I can get a kill. If I do this, I can get a kill and do 40 damage to you. That's gotta be the way to do it, right? That's gotta be the way to do it. Now you're taking a lot of damage. So we've lost like 1 floor capacity down there, but that's still pretty darn good, and we can still get these molten encasements literally every turn. So I want you to get the kill. Harvest gain armor. I don't love it. But I do want the card draw. Hallowed drippings. Ugh. Yuck, end turn. Okay, how's it looking down here? It's looking okay. You're not really taking that much damage. Also, have not drawn a single draft yet. Can't help but notice. Not the best. Would really like to do some more damage. Good lord, this is not good. This is not good at all. Well, I could do another 10 damage to you, and then give you 10 armor by killing an imp. You're healing. I guess we'll try down here. Reform. Get a burnout imp. I don't know, maybe. At least we're now killing this unit, which is good. But, like, good God, the pyre is gonna take 30 damage? It's just a bad draw, is really what it is, because we did not get our draft until just now. And they have to be played. But I guess we'll start with the imp so that they die and we don't get Ember Drain. But like that was pretty bad draw, I think you have to admit. I mean, I guess we'll just do that. Technically, it saves us 1 damage. I really hope we can kill these units. Just saying. 100 damage. This is another 80. You're not dead! How? How are you not dying? You know what? I think we just needed to start on the middle floor with a capacity upgrade so that we could actually buff our champion with more units, because this is just insane that we're not able to kill these guys. He has 9 HP! He hit the pyre for another 11. Good God. I mean, I'm tempted to just, like, play a crushing demise up here and see what happens. But we'll start with a mold, I suppose. What's going on down here? You're taking 600 damage? Ah, you're there. I'm gonna do this in a way that kills the boss without worrying about this floor. I'm gonna do it like this. Then we don't gotta worry at all. Okay, we took a lot of pyre damage there, but I think we understand now that these drafts just aren't cutting it. And the reason they're not cutting it is because they're not technically banner units, so you don't draw them early in the fight guaranteed. You draw them just completely at random, and if you draw them late, well then you draw them late. You know, there's not much you can do to change that at all. Energy's not a problem. Endless Extinguish Draw 1 is good for buffing the champion. Wax and Spike to help keep the drafts alive, but we have very little scaling damage. You know what? I think I'm gonna change things up a little bit. I think I'm gonna maybe put the champion on the top floor from now on, because we really do need that champion to scale and damage a lot faster, and at the bottom she just was not doing enough damage to kill these tanky units. But like, I understand the Votavary. An endless unit will be played and then die every turn to buff the champion, but we have imps that we can play. I don't think we want these. Maybe the Wax and Spike to keep the burnout units alive. That's what I'll say. Theoron, welcome. Since the Divinity update, I can't win, lol. Yeah, the Divinity update has definitely made the game harder, I feel. In some situations, a lot harder. I do like the idea of just buying artifacts. I do need to get spell upgrades at some point for like One Horn's Tome, but like buying art, like what artifact would we buy? Tomb units give you extra energy when they die. Waxy units are endless. I feel like spell upgrades would be more important, actually. Making cards cheaper. Making One Horn's Tome and Umbra Stone cheaper is probably the way to go. You know, making Crushing Demise have holdover or something. We still get an artifact too. When a friendly unit dies, apply +10, ascend, descend, daze 2. Like, we have none of those, so we'll go for apply +10, which is not great, but take it. Permafrost. I don't love this, but maybe Permafrost, Wax, and Spike to apply Burnout 4 once you get both drafts out could be pretty good. You know, save an X-cost card until you can really get good value out of it. +10 magic power. A good Horn Break is nice. And cheaper, One Horn's Tome has to be cheaper. Double stack. We can't play this at 5. I would love to play it at 5, but we can't. Oh, dude, this is what you want. Burnout 8. I don't care about the damage, I care about the burnout. Do I? Because, like, this will give you a burnout 10. This will give you an armor 44, but it costs way too much. I like this for the burnout, honestly. Might be worth more to play it for damage, though. But if we're gonna use Crushing Demise for damage, then we actually prefer to have the burnout there. How much is this? It's 105? I could then buy both of these. Well, I don't really want that one. We'll make One Horn's Tome playable, and then I'll burn out 8 this one. I guess. Draw X cards and apply -1. Yeah, I mean, sure. And then we can upgrade this later, maybe to give it like -2 so that it actually draws 2 extra cards and then makes those cards free. So how the hell are we gonna play this champion? Do we start him at the bottom or do we start him up at the top? I don't know, because they suck at the bottom. So maybe you do just kind of play him at the top and then get them trampled up. Like, it buys you a lot of time by playing him up here. And then maybe you just like beef up the bottom floor with drafts and Paraffin Thugs to buy you some time. The problem with that though is that if the units don't die fast enough, then we, at the top floor, we won't be able to have room to put other things on the top floor with the Shardtail Queen. So, but putting her at the bottom does expose her to risk, but it means I can get the imps out and get them killed from the get-go. I mean, I could, you know, get this out here and then draw, and then the Shardtail Queen could maybe do 40 damage, and then maybe we can get some kills as enemies move up, but we have to get the units for that, and if we don't draw them, then, you know, life's a bitch. Because our only other units are drafts, and we gotta get to them quickly. I'm gonna start at the bottom again. Oh, it's not good draw. This might be the wrong idea, but I'm gonna do it. And then I'm just gonna play the Paraffin Thugs here, and they do whatever they do. And then I'm just gonna give you a bunch of armor. Or I could kill you. I'm gonna kill you. Okay. You're taking 40 damage. Not enough. Primitive Mold will bring back a Queen's Imp. I think we're okay bringing back an Imp, which now is Burnout, and it's gonna kill the units in the back. We got a Draft. The Draft can kill you next floor. So we'll get that Draft out there. Trample, we're gonna need the Trample. We're gonna need these Imps to come out too, though, to buff our damage. So now you're doing 61. You will not get an energy refund from this. I think we just apply the Trample, and we'll play more Imps later. As for you, get Burnout. Unfortunately, the Thugs are not really getting too many kills, but they're gonna get a kill on this turn at least. And we do have another Draft. The Draft needs to go out. You're my top floor tank, and we could play a Rail Spike. Did I like... You're not a banner unit! No wonder I'm not getting the Tomb unit early. I had to think about it for a while, really. Okay, Primitive Mold. Bring out an Imp. When you die, you will explode and kill other friends. Our Queen is almost dying. Almost. Not quite, almost. You do a sweep. So you're gonna kill all the Imps in one go. But that will do enough damage to kill the Marksman in the back when the Marksman kills the Queen Imp in the front. So this'll draw one card. You know what? Playing this for free every turn is pretty darn kicking. So I love it. That was honestly like one of the best draws we could have gotten there. So, yeah, I like it. Okay, you're getting a kill. Beautiful. Hey, not Bill Murray, thank you for the resub for 22 months. Dang, pushing 2 years. Indeed. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, friend. Yo, the Tomb unit is getting a lot of damage. Alright. So, like, can this run even work? God, I have no idea. It has to revolve around this multi-strike, though. It has to. You play it, and you're fragile, but as long as you have enough stealth, you'll never die. So that seems okay to me. And we'll just keep playing this to buff your strength even more. And then now you have Burnout 20. So if we need to stealth the top floor, we can stealth them a lot. But we're still just not doing enough like AoE sweep damage because we're not getting enough melded Imps out over and over again. That's what I'm worried about. Add a weight of contrition to the top of your draw pile if a unit dies here on this combat. I don't love it. I don't love it, but we're still gonna play it. We have the energy to play those weight of contritions. And I'll even play the Imps, because all we care about is buffing... Oh, I played this incorrectly, though. All we care about is buffing her, anyways. So yeah, that's gonna get added. What's in the dead pile? Imp, Imp, and Imp. All right, let's, instead of doing that, maybe buff you? Because we can't play that on the champion anymore, but she does have 5 stealth, and we're gonna get even more stealth. And she's doing 400 damage now, which is beautiful. Finally. But on these fights, we've been like taking a lot of damage early until we've really gotten things working, which makes me really scared. It does, straight up. I think I'm playing it wrong. I think we need to put her at the top floor. We can't do this. Add a draft to your hand and apply +10 for each card consumed. It's gonna have Burnout 1. I'm gonna say no. Capacity would help to build better floors. Draw would help to get to the tomb unit faster. To get to the drafts faster. But I think being able to play more imps on a floor before they all get trashed allows us to buff the champion faster, because we do get through the deck relatively quickly with Queen's Tail. It's very, very questionable though. You know, it might be worth more to get the draw. I'm gonna go for the draw. And just hope that the capacity ends up not being a problem. So, what are we gonna do? We're gonna dupe. Oh, I really want the Pyre health. I think we're gonna upgrade units. We still have the Paraffin Thugs that could get upgraded. So, you know, some upgrades are okay. Molten Encasement maybe still can get that burnout. We are going to dupe the Molten Encasement, which does give us +15 shards. And we're gonna dupe him here, which means we're gonna get unit upgrades here. If we're gonna get unit upgrades here, maybe we would prefer to get spell upgrades and then do additional card removal right about now. Like, get rid of these Queen Imps and get to the Molten Imps a little bit faster. Because we can still get an artifact that sets us to 95. Dupe gets us to 110, which is good enough, and we'll have a little bit more Merchant of Steel. We won't be able to heal the Pyre, which is very scary, but I still think that's the call. Because I can't, like, I have to dupe a card, which means we have to do it in this way. So, purge a Queen's Imp. Could also maybe purge one of the molds, because we're molding back the imps very frequently, and we don't need as many primitive molds in the deck, I feel. Get the gold, upgrade the champion. We're just gonna give as much rally as possible. Let's get an artifact. 50 max health on the champion. They only have 40, so that's like not a big swing. I actually really like Cheater's Hand. To be able to draw +1 card every turn. The 40 health, don't get me wrong, but Cheater's Hand, like if we don't have energy, save a card. It's very good. It's very good. It's very good. We need the card draw, I think. The Pyre health could have been good, but I've done it. Upgrade a spell to cost -1. I kind of like upgrading the Awoken's Rail Spike. It only applies -1 to the card, so it's actually not as good as I thought it would be. I think then in that case, maybe let's get the Trample cheaper because it has to be played. I don't care about double stack really. I mean, armor 48. It's not that bad. Armor 44 rather. Remove consume from Roken's Rail Spike. I don't think we need it. Like, once we get through the expensive cards, I don't care if a card costs 1 or 2. We have the energy for it. We play an imp that we reform, and we get 4 energy. What are we gonna do with this energy? We need good cards, not cheap cards, I think. Okay, so we're probably gonna say no to this trial. Spell Shield 2. Well, we can do this trial. I have no spells. I have piercing spells and then no spells, so sure. Oh my god, this is gonna suck. It's also gonna suck because those units that explode can't hit the champion. We gotta be careful. What? The infused mallet. It got a kill. Okay, we don't need burnout, so we're gonna put it away. You explode on death. I don't really want to put the Shard Tail Queen there. I do have a Molten Encasement, which is pretty dope. You know what we should do? Kill a random enemy unit. I killed the front unit. Still fine. You do 30 damage? Good lord. Deal 10 damage to your front unit. I cannot play the queen here, I don't think. If I put the queen down and put the Molten Encasement down and the Paraffin Thug, the Thug can kill the Wiltwing and die in the process, freeing up space. No, this will just kill the unit outright and then kill the Molten Imp. Or sorry, the Molten Encasement. Okay, and then we can do damage to you. It's not a lot of damage, but if we can draw the draft, we can put them up there and stop you. Well, they only do 160 damage, but you're gonna do like 60 damage to you anyway. So we just need to get the drafts within 2 turns. I hate it. I hate it. So we're gonna play this, then the Molten Encasement, which will kill this unit, and then kill the Molten Encasement, which will get stealth to the Shard Tail Queen, and then we can play the Paraffin Thug to do even more damage. I did this wrong, because now the Paraffin Thug is gonna die. That's actually okay, because it's a reform target. It was just silly of me to do it in that fashion. So what do we not want on this turn? Bringing back a Thug is okay. We don't want both branding rights, so I'm gonna dump this one. What are we gonna play with 4 energy? We're gonna play... We could play Umbra Stone next turn. What's the full floor look like? Oh god. Well, Can almost kill you with piercing, but I don't want to give you a billion armor. We need to bring back the Thug and play the Thugs. So that's gotta happen. I would like to keep the Thug alive, so maybe a Hallow Drippings would be okay. Although, if we don't play Hallow Drippings, then the Thug would die with Burnout, do damage, and then come back next turn, which I actually like. So we could Branding Right for armor, reform the Thug, Thug. Oh, but we won't have the energy to play the Molten Encasement. So it's gotta be, because we don't have an Imp in hand, that's right. So we gotta play Molten Encasement, 3 energy, 2 energy, 1 energy. There's nothing else to play though. But that's the way it has to work. That's the way it has to be. So we might as well play this next turn because it doesn't matter. It's unplayable this turn. We'll play the trample on this turn. It's what we have the energy for. So you have to be played because you buff the champion. You'll also do 15 damage, which means I might be able to kill you next floor. What do you gain armor 15 to all units. Oh, that sucks. But this is still how we want to do it. You do 35 damage. You have burnout. Okay, that's 60 damage done to you. We do need trample to be on you for later, admittedly. Now, if we bring back the Thug, it won't kill that unit, but it'll get mighty flippin' close. So what do we not want? We don't need this many imps. We can probably dump like a Queen's Imp. Trample's pretty good here. You have a lot of HP though. You're getting kills, we gotta worry about that. We also gotta worry about you. The draft at the top is what we've been waiting for. If you play an Imp at the top, it will take the Ember Drain. Is that what we want? We have 5 energy this turn, technically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We won't be able to primitive mold anything back. I do want to still bring that unit back, though. To put him in front as a tank, but maybe it's better that we not worry about that. I think we still want this. It's gonna cost our champion a little bit of damage, but it will get some kills. Could also just put out an imp to do the same thing. but I think damage is inevitable down here. We reform back the burnout unit. He'll have 50 damage. You have to play the draft at the top. I would like to do it without Ember Draining, but I think it's better for me to play like some more imps to really start buffing the queen. Or when a unit dies, apply armor 15 to units. We can't do this in the right order. So I can put you down, you do 15 damage, which is not enough. You do another 5, you do another 5. Yeah, I can't do this in a way that kills the Wiltwing in the back. At least not until the top floor. So we just need to do as much damage as possible on this floor, which means, I don't know what it means. I mean, it means a Molten Encasement, because that will block our units from dying and do damage. Is it good enough? So, okay, so now I'm thinking, bear with me. I'm sorry for the, like, delay on the turn, but I have to think about this. I think what we do is Molten Encasement. Then, we do 20 damage, you gain 15 armor, whatever. We play a Molting Imp to do some additional damage. No, we play the Molting Imps down here. We mold back the Thug with Burnout 2, play him on the top, play the Draft on the top. I think we're okay with energy, right? Wonder when Tome is coming around. We need to be able to play the Draft. I really don't want to get Ember Drained. So it's gonna be like Imp, Draft. I really don't want to get Ember Drained. Problem is, can I kill these units? I don't know if I can. They're just wicked strong. You know, that'll keep you alive, so you won't buff their armor. That'll give you more burnout. So we're just like putting a unit down in front of you, but you know, then we're losing a unit. Freaking gonna kill my pyre! I hate you guys! Okay, we're gonna do this. It's a lot of damage, but that's okay. I think we're gonna reform back. 50 damage, 20 health. I mean, it's actually worth it to put you in the back so you hit once. Now that I think about it. So now we're doing some additional damage. And then honestly, play you. Give us some reform targets. We really do need that draft though. If we don't get it, I think we might die. We got it. We do not need Wax and Spike on this turn. Get it next turn. It is frozen. This floor is okay. With some buffing, this floor is even better than okay. You're gonna die. You are gonna die to the draft, and the Hornbreak can even kill the Wiltwing in the back. This floor might be acceptable. What do we not need? You know, we're gonna draw this card anyways. Now that I think about it, when we play an Imp, if we play an Imp, we're just gonna draw whatever card we draw anyways. So, let's just put a primitive mold on the top of the draw pile then. No, put a Queen's Imp at the top. Watch this. Watch this. Okay, get 2 of these. One of those was an Imp. The Imp is gonna go out first. If I put the Imp up here, it will block Ember Drain, and then I can just put you down here to get the kill here. Or to almost get the kill. But our Queen is gonna take a lot of damage if I put the Molten Encasement down. We're not gonna take a lot of damage if I put the Imp down. In fact, we're gonna take none on the Queen. So I think we will lose energy next turn in order to make our Queen's life a little bit easier. Then we'll put the draft out. It's gonna happen. You're dying. You're not dying, but that's okay. You're dying. I think we got kind of lucky with the draw, honestly. Paraffin Thug with Burnout 1, 160 damage. You have 100 and... Okay, let's just start here. You're dying. You're not dying, who cares? You are dying. If you're dying, we don't need the Paraffin Thug out, but it will still buff the rally trigger. So now you're at 200 damage with Trample, which is pretty good. And then I don't want to play Wax and Spike. I would rather play it to buff the damage of those drafts. I think that the draft damage is super important. Could also, you know what, dude? Cheater's Hand, Awoken Rail Spike. You put one Horn's Tome up, and then you can make it cheaper. How about that? Is that good? Is that decent? That feels good. I mean, it's not really that good, but you can still make a, you can guarantee that one card is gonna be cheaper. I would love it if this was cheaper. So we're gonna make this card free. That's what we're gonna do. That seems like a pretty cool little strategy there. No! How dare you! Well, we're just gonna give you some armor now, because you're dead. You still need to be played, so we'll play you. We did not play multi-strike, but you know what? Oh well. We'll just make sure that you're not burning out. We'll save the Wax and Spike for later. That was not ideal. I played the Imp. Because I wanted to play the Imp because I didn't have Reform, so I wouldn't be able to make a free Imp, but by doing it in that fashion, I didn't make a free Molten Encasement either. So I kind of just screwed it slightly. Next turn is not going to be next turn because I can't do anything next turn, but I think we'll just dump a Wax and Spike for next turn. Because I got things I want to play now. We're going to play Encasement, Hornbreak, Mold. Sorry, that was incorrect. I should have played the Imp. Into the Molten Encasement. Into the Molded Paraffin Thug. There we go. Okay, what do you do 53 damage. But with Stealth, it literally doesn't matter how much damage you do because you can't hit me. You cannot attack me. You cannot hurt me. Give me all the units, I don't care. I don't care, give me, it's not gonna, Paraffin Thug can't get a kill! Well, we'll do it like this then. Now you're giving me stealth. Now you're buffing my champion. They are doing 400 damage, but like, that's it? We didn't play multi-strike, so that's all their damage. It's not like super amazing. This is really a stealth build. I have no idea how we're gonna handle Divinity. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, there's no way we can hit Divinity and win and live. There's an Inferno. If we get super lucky, we can make it hold over. But we have to go to... Duplication, which means we're gonna upgrade units. So we're not gonna upgrade spells. It still could be a good spell to have, but then we won't be able to start on the bottom floor with the champion. But maybe that's okay. Maybe the middle floor with 2 capacity is fine. Random consume spell to your hand. We've got good consume spells. I do look at the Inferno though, and I'm like, dude. 100 damage. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Like, if you need it, it can help you kill. But not on a floor with your units on it, unless you want to, like, reform them back in the future. Dude, I think having one spell that can actually do damage is fine. I don't love it, but I think it is fine. We don't need to worry about spell shield, so I still think this is not important for us. We do not get sapped or anything. I think we're just gonna say no on this. The Votivary is still interesting with the Endless Extinguish draw, free card, but it will come back with more and more damage every time, thanks to the resin block, but I still think you say no. Okay, this is strange. So what do we have? We have 2 drafts, 1 Molten Encasement. I still want to dupe that Molten Encasement. We could do like a meld, but there's like nothing really to meld. Paraffin Thug and Paraffin Thug, who cares? We're gonna go left here. Surprisingly, we did not take damage on that encounter. Just gonna point that out. Daze 3 in melee weakness to the bottom floor. Consume, restore pyre health. Intrinsic Spell Chain. Spell Chain Inferno! Make it really frickin' expensive. Nah. Upgrade time. Multi-strike. Would love to put that on some draft. But a multi-strike Paraffin Thug could be okay, but I think that's a little expensive for what I want. I actually think Burnout Encasement is what I want. That way it's guaranteed to die every turn. And as a result, it'll buff the stealth really quickly. +5, +10. I don't think multi-strike is good enough, but I'm still gonna put it on. Large Stone? I mean, it's hard enough to play him. I think I'd rather just give you health for tankiness. 300 bucks. It is enough to get 1 artifact or reroll 1 artifact. Faulty Loader is really nice to help kill the first few enemies. We're having a hard time killing the early waves, so I think we're gonna take that. And then I think we do need another Molten Encasement. Another draft is also interesting, and I do like the idea of another draft, but I think we need the stealth over and over again. I think that's the most important thing. Especially against the Seraph, every floor we want to be able to survive them. Like, we need damage, but I'm really hoping that maybe we can just buff the damage with that card that buffs burnout and damage. Anyways, things happened at the beginning here. We're gonna draw a card immediately, put the Wax and Spike up, put the Queen out. Are we gonna start at the bottom? Ah, you removed half the stacks, so they only have days 1 now. You remove round up, which really sucks. We could start here and just play the Molten Encasements every turn over and 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 over again. It buys us a turn, but we don't really need to buy a turn because we can start here immediately and kill all the units with the damage from the Molten Encasement. So 3 capacity is better to buff your damage quickly. Oh, right, of course. So Molten Encasement goes out, you have Burnout. You're living, which is very unfortunate. You do need to go out, so we're gonna put you out on this floor, which is your floor, and then we're gonna end turn. We did not do as much damage as we wanted, but once we get, yes! Once we get the drafts out, that's where the damage is really gonna start kicking up, picking up, doing damage. Is this a multi-strike turn? I actually would like to, because if we can multi-strike, then maybe we can actually kill you. And we can maybe play the draft next turn, but we're gonna draw a card anyways because of how this works. Because I am gonna play an imp to get card draw out of it. Unless we specifically do not want to play an imp to get card draw next turn, but I gotta play Molten Encasement, so I wanna play 2 units down here to get the most buff. Because it'll be plus 50 damage plus One Horn's Tome. Which is the most important thing on this turn, I think. We can... No, we gotta play the draft, though. We gotta play the draft, though. So maybe we don't play the imp and we play the tome next turn? No, we gotta play the tome this turn to kill you. What are we gonna play next turn? we have 4 energy. We can play the draft next turn. This turn we can play 1 Horn's Molten Encasement and do as much damage as possible on the bottom floor. Don't play an Imp. Now, you are gonna have Fragile, but as long as we put tanks in front of you, this is okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, you're taking 156, decent. Hopefully there's no exploders, but if there are, we just gotta put stuff in front of you. Trample, we do not need. We can play that next turn. What are we gonna play on this turn? We're gonna play a draft, which will do 80. Wax and Spike might be able to buff the draft damage enough that we can kill this guy. Yeah. Yeah, so next turn I would actually not mind a branding right. We can't play it on the champion. I hate that the Imp is just alive. But you know what? It's a tank. It's a tank. Nah, next turn we need Trample. This turn is Draft, Molten Encasement. Wow, it's X-1, so it only buffs your damage by 4, which will buff your damage by 8, which means that you're not even getting close to getting a kill. So you're gonna hit the pyre. If you're gonna hit the pyre, maybe there's something else I can do on this turn. Not really. Well, if you're gonna hit the pyre, geez, I don't know. I guess we can just buff you with armor, because that'll kill you, so we're not gonna do that. Yeah, okay, I guess we'll do this. I forgot that it was -1, so it wasn't getting enough damage done, but, you know, we're only gonna take 11 damage. How the hell are we gonna win against Seraph? It is gonna be impossible. We are Ember Drained that much? Oh no! I don't have enough energy to play anything! Well, I guess that means we're not gonna play an Inferno. You have to die. We don't need a Molten Encasement down here. It would keep buffing the damage, but an Umbra Stone would mean that we start getting some trample applied. Actually, would a Queen's Imp get a kill here? No. We have 2 Molten Encasements though. We could play them both, then we can't play the Umbra Stone. That's a good point, that's a good point. 135 damage. You know what, this actually does get a kill and do some damage to you. We can play Umbra, oh, we can't really play Umbra Stone next turn, but I think we gotta do it with the Imp. And then, that'll kill you in the back. And then we still have 1 energy. I think we can wait for the other Molten Encasement, actually. Oh my god, you're gonna live, and you're gonna do so much damage to the pyre! I hate you. This guy is going to murder me. Like, I have to get... We are gonna get the draft, but it's only 160 damage. It's not enough to kill you. But we can put a tomb up here, which will do another 15, which will kill the unit in the front. We're gonna go down to 34, lose 12, take 15 damage. Yeah, so we will be able to kill you next turn by playing the draft on the top floor. You will die. As long as we don't get a unit summon, but even if we get a unit summon, the Molten Encasement will kill him. So we can focus on you on this turn, which means we can play an Umbra Stone, because you're gonna come back, because you have Burnout 1. Okay. And you have Burnout 8. So we're gonna play the Trample, which saves us a lot of headache, I feel. Don't go to the bottom. Yes, perfect. Perfect, okay. What died? An Imp. I'd rather reform an Imp, probably, than play a Molting Imp. So dump the Molten Encasement. We're gonna draw it with Rail Spike. Could also just play Crushing Demise, but we don't need to. because we're gonna play the draft. You're taking 120. We're going to rail spike. Which is this is a very good little assortment here. Now you are... I might not kill you! I did the math wrong! Oh no! Don't hurt my pyre. You're only taking 125! You're gonna hurt my pyre for another 10, which is not good. I did the math wrong. There's another 10 damage. I have enough for Inferno, but I can't really play Inferno anywhere, so we're just gonna dump this card and say, you know what, you're probably not the right pick for this deck. You're all dead. You are not dead, but I can start playing units up there. We gotta start getting out these molten encasements though and start stacking up the stealth. So there you go. She's dying. She's dying because you removed the stealth and now I can't live with the queen. Okay. Well, is there anything we can do to prevent that? The answer is no. The queen is gonna die. I can mold them back. But I think that is an indication that maybe we should start worrying about the top floor survivability as opposed to the bottom floor, which is now, as of this moment, doing nothing. Yeah. Yep. Because he ran out of stealth. That's right. And you didn't have armor earlier, so you're gonna die. You're gonna freaking die. You're gonna freaking die. All right. Well. We'll start stacking up the stealth, I guess. And we'll start molding back some units to do as much damage as possible for our top floor. Can you kill the Molten with branding right? Nope, I gave it too much health. That was a mistake that I made. I gave it way too much health. Oops, my bad. Yo, this actually is like an Inferno turn. I actually love this as an Inferno turn. You're all annoying, but if I get Hornbreak, I can kill the tank next turn. So, yeah, we're just gonna Inferno here. Everything should die when they move up. You both have burnout, so let's keep stacking up and apply the burnout and end turn. I still have this Wax and Spike in hand. We can play it right before the end. Okay, what do we not need? Probably don't need a bad branding right. You're only taking 120. I could buff everyone's damage to 52 times 2. We'll start by playing this one. You do 75 damage. You do 75 damage? That's a lot of damage. You're both dead. I gave you burnout 5! Well, we still gotta play this here. Well, no, we should probably play an imp. You get some draw, see what we get. Kills that unit. Kills that unit. Let's give you a lot more armor, because you are the only things keeping this run alive right now. Don't even play the imp, just don't thicken up the discard pile. Okay, primitive mold. Let's see what we get. Start with Crushing Demise. Beautiful. Mold. We got our queen! She's gonna live! We can give her stealth too if we want. I would really like to play her up here. So do we burn out these units and give them more stealth, or do we play our queen and have her have like 2 turns of stealth and do some damage. She only has burnout 1 and 45 health. You do 45 damage a turn. Got a good thug. You know, I think you do play the queen down here. But do you play the wax and spike? Because she would live to do 400 damage. Oh, really? That's it? Oh, God, no. That's not enough. I'd rather live these guys, I think. Make these guys live. Because every turn that they live, they do 200 damage as is, and I can buff their damage even more and get the burnouts going. So I think that's what we want. I'm sorry, Queenie. You kind of blew it for me. We're not gonna play Inferno. You're only doing 700 damage. Okay, you know, could be better. I think we'll start with this. 800 damage. 1800 damage. Look, it was a fun run. I completely ruined it. Well, I didn't ruin it. It's just I hate the queen. I hate the queen is the weakest champion out of every champion in this game. So, you know, I stand by it just being a hard class to play. I'm also just, I feel like I'm just bad at her. I just don't understand how to play her correctly with the, with all of the imps, because the imps are trash and the imps are really bad at scaling. Like really, really bad at scaling, because they don't scale. You can't upgrade an imp to do more damage every turn, like you can upgrade spells or upgrade units. The only benefit you get out of the imps is if you can make them endless and keep replaying them. I really dislike the imp build with the queen. I like the imps with the Hornbreaker Prince, because the imps can help jumpstart the Hornbreaker Prince, but the imps are a core component to this queen, which actually makes them trash. They are total trash. But also, like, I did not build this run correctly. I was hoping that we could kill the units as they moved up with the queen, but by giving her the multi-strike without armor, and the fact that we lost stealth because of the boss, we were unable to keep her alive, which was a mistake on my part for sure, but still, you know, unfortunate and also hard. And I hate this queen. I hate her. You don't get an outro queen. You don't get one.